Okay, movie is over, dishes are officially done, and we have entered the sit on the couch until neither of us wants to move phase of the evening. Best phase? You know, I've been thinking about something all day. Actually, that's not true. I've been thinking about it for several years. Okay. This is gonna sound really strange. Have I ever told you why Octopus are weird little geniuses? Thank you. You've continued willingness to encourage the behavior is appreciated. I know. They don't pay taxes. But honestly, I think they're smarter than some people. That sounded so much meaner out loud. I don't mean everyone, just certain people. Like anyone who reply all to a company email. Anyway, Octopus. Oh my goodness. Where do I even start? There are so many things. Okay, deep breath, organized thoughts. We can do this. We absolutely cannot do this. I'm already excited. Okay, first of all, they are not a fish. I know. Someone always says, look at that funny fish. No, they're cephalopods, which basically means they're much more closely related to squids or cuttlefish, not regular fish, which honestly feels like a funny, strange beginning to a family reunion. Now, question. Do you know how many bones does an octopus have? None. Not one. Zero. Absolutely boneless, which means their beaks can fit through a hole. The rest of them can too. Think about that. Imagine locking your front door, then a burglar just flows underneath your door. No, thank you. Absolutely not. Ugh. They're basically sentient toothpaste. I know. That's the worst description I have ever come up with, and yet you know exactly what I mean. They don't have a skeleton telling them what shape to be. They just become whatever shape fits. It's like watching water decide it has goals. See? You laughed. That's why I tell you things, because you laugh at the weird comparisons. It encourages me. You are an accomplice. Okay, so here's another one. They have 3 hearts. 3. Most of us can manage barely 1. They have 3. 2 pump blood to the gills, 2 of them. And 1 pumps blood around the entire rest of the body. And here's the part that makes me sad. When they swim, the main heart basically stops beating. Swimming is so exhausting that they actually prefer to crawl along the ocean floor. Honestly, same. Walking somewhere is already enough effort. If my heart stopped every time I climbed stairs, I'd just live downstairs forever. You know what's even stranger? Their blood is blue. Actually blue. Not because they're royalty. Although I think they deserve tiny underwater crowns. But because instead of using iron, their blood uses copper. Copper works better in the cold. Low oxygen water, which means evolution basically looked at the ocean and said, right, we're doing things differently. Nature is so clever. It's not even trying to build the smartest creature or the strongest. It's solving problems little by little over millions of years. And somehow it ended up making an incredibly intelligent, blue-blooded, three-hearted, shape-shifting escape artist. Do you understand why I love these little weirdos? What? I'm smiling? I know, I get ridiculously happy talking about animals. I'm sorry. Actually, no. I'm not. I've tried apologizing, didn't work, because I still have approximately 47 more facts. And somehow, I've only talked about their hearts. We haven't even gotten to the part where they start opening jars, escaping aquariums, and remembering people's faces. Oh, you are gonna love this next part, seriously. This is where octopus stop being interesting animals and start sounding like tiny underwater masterminds. Okay, this is where things stop being, that's a neat animal, and start becoming, what kind of wizard designed this creature? Remember how I said they were smart? I wasn't exaggerating. Actually, I might have been underselling it. Scientists have watched octopus solve puzzles, like the Rubik's Cube. Open complicated containers, remember solutions, and then use those same solutions again later. That's the important part. It's not random. They are learning. Learning! Do you know how incredible that is? Imagine someone hands you a strange little box, and you've never seen one before, and you figure out how you open it, and then a week later, someone hands you the same box. You don't start over. You remember, like riding a bike. That's exactly what octopus do. They're basically saying, oh, it's this puzzle again. I know this one. Easy. And then there are jars. I love jar experiments. Researchers would put food inside the glass with the lid, and the octopus would look at it, touch it, turn around, and then unscrew the lid. Excuse me? Who gave the sea noodle engineering skills? Sea noodle. I am keeping that one. I regret nothing. Oh, wait. This gets better. Much better. Some aquarium have had octopus escape. Not by accident. On purpose. They have climbed out of their tanks, slithered across the floor, visited another aquarium tank to eat the fish, and then gone back home. Can you imagine being a night guard security? You walk in, count the fish, everything seems normal except one tank keeps mysteriously losing fish. Meanwhile, the octopus is just chilling out, trying to look innocent. Fish? What fish? I've never heard of fish. They are tiny water criminals. Adorable ones, but still... Oh. Tea. It's cold again. You know. This happens every time I get a little excited about something. I make tea, and then I forget tea exists until it's room temperature. Worth it. Can I tell you my favorite fact? Actually, no, that's impossible. I have several favorite facts, but this one is near the top. Octopus can recognize a person's face. Individually, people. Not just human, specific humans. And some researchers noticed that an octopus would react differently depending on who was feeding it. One person gets greeted, another person gets ignored. Sometimes one person gets sprayed with water. Imagine that. You're at work. Your coworker asks, "How was your day?" And you have to answer, "The octopus hates me." Again. Apparently, some octopus have been known to deliberately spray the keepers they didn't like. Not everyone, just certain people. Which honestly is both hilarious and mildly concerning, because that means they've made a decision. They looked at someone and thought, "You, specifically, prepare to be damp." They're so petty. I love them. Oh! Color! I totally forgot! Colors! No. This is important. They don't just change color. They can also change texture. Okay, imagine touching a smooth blanket, and then suddenly it becomes rough tree bark. That's basically what they're doing. Tiny muscles in their skin can create bumps that imitate rocks or coral. So 1 second there's an octopus, and then next there's not. Where did it go? Nobody knows. The octopus knows. It isn't telling. Sometimes I think if fancy writers invented octopus today, they would complain. They were unrealistic. 3 hearts, blue blood, no bones, shape-shifting, puzzle solving, escaping prisons, recognizing people, changing the color and texture. Someone would absolutely say, that is too overpowered. Nature didn't care. Nature just said, here, have the weirdest little genius is imaginable. Can I just thank you? Not just for listening. You're listening like you're genuinely interested. And I know not everyone would sit through an enthusiastic ADHD lecture about octopus. But you do. You always do. Every time you smile or laugh or ask another question, it makes me want to keep sharing the things I love. Although, I should probably warn you, we still haven't talked about how they sleep, or dream, or camouflage while they're dreaming. Okay, just one more fun fact. No, do not make that face. I know exactly what face that is. That's your "she said that 20 minutes ago" face. In my defense, I believed. I generally thought I only had one more, and then I remembered that there's 3 more. And those reminded me there's another 5. My brain is basically an internet browser. One interesting tab turns into 27. And somehow, this one is playing music. And I don't know which one. Anyways, dreaming. This one is one of those things that still amazes me. Scientists have watched sleeping octopus change color over and over and over while they're sleeping. Right, so brown, white, speckled, dark, light, patterns appearing then disappearing, like clouds passing over the ocean floor. It's beautiful. Nobody knows exactly what they're experiencing. It is possible they're processing memories or experiences the way most animals do. Imagine dreaming in color. Not just seeing color, becoming it. That is incredible. You know, one thing I really love about science is how comfortable it is saying, we don't know. I think that's kind of beautiful. People sometimes imagine scientists as people who already have all the answers. Most of the time, they're just really good at asking questions and being excited when they discover a tiny piece of the answer. I think I'd rather live in a world where there are still mysteries, where someone can spend their entire career studying octopus and still wake up thinking, I wonder. Which actually reminds me, one octopus became famous because it escaped so many times. The aquarium had to completely redesign its enclosure. Imagine being so clever that humans had to hold a meeting about you. All right, everyone, Dave escaped again. Any ideas? Meanwhile, Dave is sitting probably inside a bucket watching. Oh, wait, this is adorable. Some octopus moms protect their eggs for months, sometimes without leaving them. They gently clean them, move water over them, keep them healthy. They don't eat, they just stay, protecting them. I know it is heartbreaking and beautiful. Nature can be very cruel, but it can be also unbelievably tender. Sometimes the same animal can be a fearless hunter or an incredibly gentle parent. I love that. Because real life is rarely just one thing. Kinda like people. We're all a little complicated. Can I admit something? When I started talking about things like this, I'm always a little worried I'm being too much. Too excited, so many facts, too many tangents. Growing up, I used to really try stopping myself. I'd notice people zoning out, checking their phones, and eventually I'd just keep the rest to myself. Then I met you, and you never made me feel like I had to stop. You ask questions, you laugh at my terrible comparisons. You let me get excited. Even when my excitement is about blue-blooded, three-hearted, boneless sea noodle. Thank you. Really, it means more than you know. See? You do things like that. When you wonder why I keep telling you every weird fact I learn. Because you hold my hand. It's because sharing them feels like sharing a little piece of myself. Every time you listen, it feels like you're saying, I like this piece too. That's really a wonderful feeling. You know, I think if Octopus could understand relationships, they'd probably think humans are strange. Two people choosing to spend their whole lives learning about each other, always discovering something new, asking another question, always finding another reason to smile. Actually, maybe they'd understand that better than we think. Curiosity seems to be the one thing we're both good at. So, that concludes tonight's ramble. Officially, professionally, scientifically. Although, have I ever told you about mantis shrimps? No, I'm kidding. Relax. That's tomorrow's lecture. Tonight, I think I'm done talking. Mostly. Did you know? No, okay, I'm done. I promise.